Hey, what is up? I'm Brickophilia, and today I'm going to be doing another LEGO minifigure showcase video. I've got 4 minifigures from Deadpool 2, which came out a fair while ago now. I just haven't bothered showcasing them yet, but I'm doing it now. I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was overall just a lot better than the first one. Well, not a lot, but in certain areas I just enjoyed it more. And yeah, it was fantastic, and I've made some of my favourite characters from the movie, as well as some that I just liked the look of and didn't really have that much screen time. But yeah, so we'll just get straight into it with the first character, which obviously it's Deadpool. So if I can just get a little closer, yeah. So starting at the top, I used a Flash DC minifigure. I used one of the cowl helmet pieces from him, one of the rubber cowls, and I cut the lightning bolts off the side and sanded it, and it's gone out of focus. That's going to happen a lot. But I sanded the lightning bolts off, and I I sculpted onto the bottom of a head, which is underneath, and I kind of blended the mask into one full face mask. So yeah, the sculpt turned out really smooth, and you can't tell where it transitions over really. One thing that I would improve if I ever did another Deadpool minifigure is it's a little rounded at the bottom, so I would have to kind of get more of a chin in the sculpt, but I think it turned out pretty good overall. And there's also the triangle thing at the top. Let's see if we can, yeah, so that nice triangle thing. His eyes, the white of his eyes are painted onto the head underneath, and I had to do that through the eye holes, which was a little difficult, but that's fine. And then the eye things around that are just painted on with black and outlined in grey, and it's a bit of tedious line work, but paid off. I doubt that's going to focus. Nope. Yeah, so moving on, just to get it out of the way, his swords, so his swords are just regular LEGO katana pieces, and I kind of chopped up the handles a little bit, and I painted the blades silver. The handle is black too, and that's kind of difficult to focus, so there's 2 of them, of course. I'll just take them both out. He has one of those regular Ninjago back sword holding pieces. The back isn't really painted overall, but yeah, it's just black and there's some E-tape on there. And I had to modify it slightly so the paint on this actual swords wouldn't be scraped off when I put them in and out of the sheath. But that is just that. Moving down, his chest piece. Both chest peg things are sculpted on with green stuff, just for some 3D detail. And then all the dark red on this minifigure is painted. The shoulder pads are also sculpted, as well as his belt buckle here and the tops of the gloves. And the pockets are cut off a LEGO Batman belt. And that was just a double pocket piece, which was split in half and put on either side of the belt, and then outlined and painted. And his belt, the base of the belt and the strap going across, and this shoulder pad and the straps on his arms, that's all made out of electrical tape, which is painted and outlined. Then the rest of the detail on his body is all entirely painted, and it goes throughout the torso and the legs, and it's fairly intricate. I wasn't expecting such a detailed paint job for this character, but then looking at the reference I saw that he's actually pretty detailed when translating onto a LEGO minifigure, but I'm really happy with how he turned out for the most part, and I think it is a potentiality, if that's a word. No, I may potentially make another one in the future and update it with some improvements. But yeah, so that's Deadpool. Next up is Russell, who was actually a fairly important character to the story. He was sort of the main villain, but not really, but mostly, yeah. So he's played by Julian Dennison, who is a kid from New Zealand who has acted in a few things that I've seen, and I love him. He's really great. He did very well in the role. So the head is just completely painted. The collar around his neck is sculpted, and it's also electrical tape, and it just goes all the way around. And I have these boxes sculpted on at 3 points, which have some detail painted on there. The hair is from a cyborg lady from one of the collectible minifigures. There's electrical tape on his waist here, and also on the cuffs of the prison jumpsuit. This is the uniform that he wears for a majority of the movie. There's also electrical tape on his pant legs, so he has just normal short legs and some silver lining on there, and lots of wrinkles because the uniform is quite baggy, and he's also a big guy, so it kind of simulated that with the wrinkles. And then there was a very heavy black wash and a bit of dry brushing on the minifigure to get the kind of grimy look, and I'm very happy with him overall, and I think the likeness is pretty decent, and yeah, he looks good. Next up is going to be Cable, who I haven't actually grabbed yet. Just get him on stand. So Cable, played by Josh Brolin, he was really cool. He had a little less of a role than I had anticipated from what I saw in the trailer. It seemed like he was going to be the main villain, but he wasn't. But he was cool. He looked cool, and I made him. So the head is a Legolas head, and I painted on numerous details to get a likeness, and that's not going to focus, but I'll just go over the gun first to get it out of the way. It is from Mega Bloks, I believe, some war thing. I just chopped off a bit of the gun and glued on different areas, and then added other Lego pieces and a scope from a Clone Trooper gun. So that is the barrel is also tilted, which is accurate to the gun that Cable has. And then there's just some barrels and stuff glued all over it, and I painted it in black and then dry brushed it in silver to get that kind of scuffed up look, and the butt is painted brown. But for the actual minifigure, so he has the orange eye and a bit of detailing on the head. His hair is sculpted, and his arm is sculpted. All the pockets and shotgun shells or whatever they are on his chest, that's all sculpted, and the gun pouch is sculpted, and then all the other detail on his torso is painted. So there's just another look at his arm, his robotic arm, and there's some sculpting on his hand as well, and that's all painted silver and washed in brown and black. And I'll just move the cape. So that is the arm. The cape is a number of different capes just kind of glued together and painted. This is one of the red squishy capes, but that's just weathered as well. It's a little dark at the edges. So the hair is painted grey, but it has like a light streak going through it, which is accurate. And the pants are from a Star Wars Trooper minifigure from a battle pack, and I painted the boots brown, added some line detail and sculpted belt buckle, and there's a pouch on there and some other details, and that is basically it for Cable. I didn't make the teddy bear because the Lego one that I have is a little out of scale, and I couldn't be bothered sculpting it. So if I get one, I think there was a new one released with the collectible minifigures, but if I do get a new one, I might add that. But yeah, that's it for Cable. I didn't put extreme amount of effort into him, but yeah, I like him. Lastly, for the showcase is Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Negasonic, longest superhero name ever. Yeah, coolest superhero name ever. She's portrayed by Brianna Hilda or something. I don't know how to pronounce it, but she was barely in the second movie. But her costume was really cool, and I made this before I saw the movie, so I made Deadpool and Cable after the movie. But yeah, so I loved her costume anyway, and her head is just a normal female head. I don't remember where it came from, but I repainted everything except for the base of the eyes. She has some shadow over the eyes and around, and her eyebrows were repainted, and the mouth was painted, and so there's some grey or some dark lipstick, and tried to get a likeness to the actress. Yeah, so I'm happy with the head. There's also like the earrings painted on the side. Her hair is a Mutt Williams piece with the front chopped off and the sides sanded down very heavily, and I sculpted onto the top of that to get the Justin Bieber hair that she has. Then there's some detail from the suit, which was painted onto her neck, which is just silver outlined in black. Her breasts were sculpted. They're a bit big, but I'm not complaining. No one complains about that. Yep, yellow is all painted. The X-Men logo on her chest is painted there, and there's some more detail on her shoulders and her hands, which are fingerless gloves. And yeah, so the shoulder things were painted in grey, and then I washed them in silver so they have a bit of a shimmer to them. And the rest of the detail on the torso is just silver and grey. And yeah, so she's fairly basic, but pretty cool. And yeah, all the figures were sealed with Mod Podge, which is a clear sealant. You just paint it over the minifigures and it seals the paint. I used a glossy one for most of these minifigures, but you can also get a matte one, which I also use fairly regularly, so I'll just line the rest of them up. And yeah, that is basically it for the Deadpool 2 minifigures, as I just haphazardly go through and describe each of them. Cable is completely blocked out. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. I really hope you like these minifigures, and if you would like proper written descriptions of them, you can find that on Flickr, which will be linked somewhere in the description. And yeah, you can also follow me on Instagram at Brickophilia, which is the same as the channel name. And this isn't going to focus properly, I'm really sorry about that, but I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. 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 Bye.